This could be the smartest move of the offseason. Bills fans are starting to realize something big is brewing behind the scenes, and the details that just came out will surprise you. But first, true fans, if you love the Buffalo Bills, like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any exclusive updates from our team. Now let's get straight to the news that's confusing the NFL, and most importantly, the hearts of the Buffalo fans. For years, the Bills' secondary has been a point of attention, and at times, a major frustration. The front office tried everything, re-signing promising players, pursuing experienced veterans, betting on the draft, and restructuring contracts. The intention is clear: to build a defensive wall capable of withstanding the weight of a postseason. But despite their efforts, the reality on the field didn't live up to expectations. Last offseason, the Bills acted quickly by retaining Taylor Rapp and Tyrann Johnson on 3-year contracts. Damar Hamlin, a symbol of resilience and strength, was brought back with an affordable 1-year contract. And Christian Benford, who has improved significantly over the past 2 seasons, signed a 4-year, multi-million-dollar extension for $76 million. To top it all off, the team spent its first-round pick on cornerback Maxwell Hairston, a young talent with the potential to be a starter right away. Even so, the hole seems deeper than imagined. The AFC is brimming with elite quarterbacks: Mahomes, Burrow, Lamar Jackson, Herbert. And no defensive plan can survive for long without technical and mental leadership in the middle of the defense. That's where a name that could change the game emerges: Tyrann Mathieu. According to Bleacher Report's Brent Sobleski, a trade proposal is circulating within the NFL, involving 3 franchises: the Buffalo Bills, the New Orleans Saints, and the Atlanta Falcons. The scenario would be as follows: Dawson Knox, the Bills' reliable tight end, would be sent to the Saints. Kirk Cousins, currently on the Atlanta roster, would be involved in the deal. And Buffalo, in turn, received Tyrann Mathieu, one of the most intelligent and respected safeties in the league. Mathieu is more than a strong name. He is a symbol of consistency, game reading, and intensity. A 3-time All-Pro and Super Bowl Live champion with the Chiefs, he is recognized as a true defensive general. At 33, he continues to outperform opponents with intelligence, anticipation, and instinct. In terms of performance, he is still superior to Rapp and Hamlin. But what most attracts Buffalo is his ability to command an entire defense, and that, in January, could be the difference between another frustrating elimination and Super Bowl glory. Of course, this transfer would come at a price: Knox's departure. But the Bills' coaching staff seems confident in the role of young Dalton Kincaid, who has already shown flashes of his winning talent. And the truth is, if it's necessary to sacrifice an experimental piece to address a chronic defensive gap, GM Brandon Beane has already signaled he'll do so without hesitation. Mathieu, a New Orleans native with an emotional connection to the Saints, would likely resist leaving. But Buffalo has a powerful ace up its sleeve, being a legitimate title contender. Few veterans have resisted the chance to compete for a Super Bowl, and Mathieu would be no exception. Furthermore, Sean McDermott values versatile safeties who can be used as nickel corners, hybrid linebackers, or even blitzers. Mathieu fits that bill perfectly. He doesn't just play multiple positions, he dominates each one. If this trade happens, it won't be just another addition. It will mark a change in mindset, a transition from the Bills' talented but limited defensive performance to a true juggernaut with balance in all phases of the game. Ultimately, this speculation may still seem far-fetched, but the mere fact that it's gaining traction shows that the Bills are thinking big. And if Beane has decided to pull the trigger, this trade could be the game-changer Buffalo needs to achieve what it's been chasing for years: eternal Super Bowl glory. While fans debate trades and new additions, the truth may be much closer than it seems. One of the NFL's biggest secrets for 2025 is hidden within the Bills roster itself, and it goes by the name of Ty Johnson. Yes, James Cook and Ray Davis are the official running game duo, but Johnson showed in 2024 that he can be much more than a RB3. With 213 rushing yards, more than 5 per game included, 284 receiving yards, and 3 touchdowns, he was a reliable and explosive outlet, especially in the wild card game against the Denver Broncos, where he scored a game-winning touchdown in the end zone. Johnson is the kind of player who doesn't make headlines, but decides games. With his new 2-year contract, he's poised to take on an even bigger role. And in a scenario where James Cook hasn't yet been renewed, Johnson's presence ensures stability and a constant threat to opposing defenses. Furthermore, his attractiveness allows for more creative alignments, opening up space for screenplays, RPOs, and 2 running back formations. In a league where every yard counts, having a weapon like Ty Johnson on the roster could be key to upsetting more highly rated rivals. And speaking of underrated players with the potential for immediate impact, there's another name arriving with high expectations and a divisive track record: record, and he could be the defensive asset that's been missing. When news of Joey Bosa's signing to the Buffalo Bills broke online, the buzz was immediate and mixed. On one side, the excitement of fans who see the elite pass rusher as the missing piece to complete a defense capable of terrorizing any quarterback in the league. On the other, the understanding of those familiar with his injury history, recent limited snaps, and the weight of a contract that tops $12.6 million. The question looms large. Is this a genius move, or a ticking time bomb? Bosa arrives with a resume few in the NFL possess. 5 Pro Bowl selections, multiple seasons with double-digit sacks, and the confirmation that he's a true nightmare on the edge. But the brilliant quad injury tore his sciatic nerve, hampering his movement and limiting his snap count to just 503, the lowest of his career in seasons longer than 12 games. To make matters worse, he was forced to leave a few games midway through due to new discomfort. The Joey Bosa, who dominated entire experiences, seemed trapped inside his own body. More news came even after the deal with the Bills. During OTAs, Bosa suffered a new injury, this time to his calf, and was sidelined as a precaution. According to Draft Shark's projections, he has a 78.9% chance of re-injuring himself in 2025, with an estimated absence of at least 3 games. It's impossible not to remember the recent trajectory of Von Miller, who also arrived with savior status but saw his impact limited by injuries. And then the dilemma arises. Is it worth the risk? For Brandon Beane and Sean McDermott, the answer is a calculated yes. The strategy is clear. Preserve Bosa during the regular season, pace his snaps intelligently, and then unleash him like a silver bullet in the playoffs. It's a losing plan, but one that could work. If Buffalo can reach the postseason with Bosa relatively healthy and rested, the impact could be devastating for opponents. In the playoffs, where every snap counts, a well-timed sack could be enough to win a ticket to the Super Bowl. More than that, Bosa brings leadership, an aggressive mentality, and game knowledge. He knows how to study quarterbacks, how to manipulate tackles, and how to attack the offensive line's weak spot. And even if he's no longer at his best athletically, his presence on the field is already forcing offensive coordinators to change their game plan. Of course, there's risk. There's also frustration if he gets injured again. But that's the nature of any high-impact gamble. You never reach the top by playing within your comfort zone, and the Bills are showing they're willing to take risks to win. With the possible arrival of Tyrann Mathieu leading all, the courage to believe in players like Bosa, who can decide an entire season with a single play. And now I want to hear from you, Bills fan. Would you trade Dawson Knox for Tyrann Mathieu to transform our defense? Do you believe Joey Bosa can still be a difference maker in the playoffs even with this injury history? Could Ty Johnson really be the offense's secret weapon in 2025? Leave a comment below. I want to know if you trust this bold Buffalo Super Bowl rumor plan.